Hey Armwrestlers, Coach Ray here. I'm gonna take you through my top roll or back pressure based workout, but can you guess what music I'm listening to in this workout? So first exercise is pull-ups, neutral grip, not going all the way down. Pull-ups is not one of my favorite exercises by far. I'm keeping the tension. This is why I'm not straightening my arms all the way out. Here I did, I think, 3 sets of 6 reps, 4 sets. Here 30 kilos, nothing too crazy. Just like this, not my favorite. Then I continue with back pressure through pronation. Here I have it on top of my hand. Again, as you can see, what kind of angle I'm holding my arm in. So it's a little bit less than 90 degrees, as close as I can. Tension goes through top of my palm and through the pronator. And if you can see, I have set up the table a little bit on the side, so it doesn't just hit my back pressure, but also hits a little bit of my side pressure because the tension is going a little bit more from the side than just from the front. Then I continued with back pressure heavy lifts. Here, this is the second time this week I'm using this exercise, but if you can see, I have the cable set on the same level as my shoulder is. I explain it in previous videos. All the previous videos you can find on the channel, or go down, there's a playlist right here in description of this video, and you can watch those if you have missed them. Again, staying close, working on those 6 reps. Went pretty heavy and went pretty well, in my opinion. Very close weights to what I was using for 3 reps. Here 6 reps. Keeping close and keeping my arm where I want it to be worked really well. I feel my arm is recovering really good and shoulder is doing really fine. So I was very happy and satisfied with this. I changed the tension if it's coming from forward, like it says about here, shoulder height, or it coming down, more of resisting hook type of pullers. Would be more resisting a top roll type of pullers, but I feel like you kind of need both of those angles. And yeah, I really like this exercise. Then again, some general strength training, some rows with dumbbells. This is I think my first set or my second set, 55 kilos, and I did 3 sets of 8. Again, sometimes I don't straighten my arm all the way out. As you can see, I like to keep the tension. A little bit on Armwrestling zone, but maybe I could done a little bit cleaner. I wanted to increase weight, but we don't have bigger dumbbells than 55 kilos. So I have a kettlebell that's 12 kilos. So this is 67 kilos, just so I can increase weight. Sometimes this is what we do. We put on a kettlebell in between. It is extremely uncomfortable. My hand didn't feel that great. It was pressing on my wrist, but you know, it wasn't long to suffer, and sometimes you need to suffer here. So you can always figure out a way how to train, how to add some extra weight if you need it. And I felt like here for the top set, I needed it. Yeah, 67 kilos. We have done much bigger rows, but I feel like rows right now are where they need to be. I feel my power on back pressure is where I want it to be. Then I continue with some riser work. Again, these are very light weights that I'm using, really focusing on keeping my knuckle high, opening up those 90 degrees, about 120 degrees, and then going as close as I can. Put it on my wrist and then wrap it around, as you can see here, much better. And just trying to keep that riser or high knuckle engaged. And I like these because it keeps constant tension. It's very uncomfortable because I don't really pull on a high knuckle in my arm wrestling, but I'm trying to be a little bit better with that in right now. Kind of trying to transition my usual hook to a high hook, so I feel like these type of exercises help. So I'll incorporate something for the riser at least twice a week. Then I continue with squat bench partial curls for biceps. Well, okay, you can see by my setup, I have leaned in on my arm. So this will not build your bicep as much you would love it. But it will build your defensive hook, in my opinion. Your ability to hold in these positions. You can see I'm very much leaning on one side, so it goes more on the inside of my arm than on my bicep. If I wanted to be targeting my bicep very well, I would just keep my arm, keep my shoulders in a straight line, not like this, and try to bend my arm to my shoulder, not to my chest like I'm doing here. Um, if you put it like we have this setup, if you put your arm deep, you can really work with the muscles that you're using and not trying to pull your shoulder back, because if you increase the weights, it's very easy if you stay very high just to move your shoulder back and move that weight by that way. So here I think I did about 5 or 4 sets of 6 reps. I'm trying to get a little bit of stop at the bottom. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not, and then a little bit of a stop on the top, and just trying to work those reps in, longer time you spend on these exercise, I feel like better is the transfer, but sometimes I don't do it for quite some time and then I can return and the power is still there. You kind of need 1 or 2 workouts to get back to probably the biggest weights you have done. So yeah, this is one of those exercises that people like to think it's for bicep, but because of position you put your arm in, like you see, I'm leaning on my side, and bicep or the arm is a hinge, joint. So you need your forearm, and your upper arm to be aligned to really hit the bicep. Then some full range of motion hammer curls. As you can see, I'm not just going up, I'm also doing some flexion of my shoulder, uh, just to engage that. I feel that you really need it in arm wrestling, the ability to move your shoulder forward and rise up, and kind of do it here. A little bit of swing at the bottom, but still was feeling very good. These are some of the biggest weights I usually lift. 28-30 kilos for full range of motion for me is good weight, and I feel very comfortable here. But the whole workout was very tiring, and I feel like closer you are to that competition, more tired you get, and it's harder to keep on going with bigger weights, and so you still want to go with big weights, so sometimes your form suffers. So here I felt I should have gone a little bit lighter. Then I continue with some wrist work, cone handle. Last video I did very similar lift, but the cone handle was upside down, so it was targeting first 2 top fingers of my high knuckle, to say. Here it's doing, like, this is my engagement. This is how I usually engage a match. So this is what I'm practicing here. And I have my forearm set up in a straight line with a cable, so I have more pressure on the side pressure as I'm trying to engage this. So if you want to go back to the other video, again, all the playlists are in description. You can find it there and check out what I did there. It's a different setup and different goal. This goal for this exercise is really to do what I'm doing in a match. This is how I try to engage my matches, attacking through my wrist, through the bottom 2 fingers. And the last exercise for this workout was, you could call it chop or ulnar deviation. So I'm kind of doing chop with my wrist, and if you can see, I have my arm set up in front of me. If you set up like this, there's a constant tension, not constant tension, but there's bigger tension when you flex at the end. If you keep your arm to your side, there's more tension when the hammer is crossing parallel, but when it goes higher, there's no tension. But because I have it set up like this, it was like this. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay strong. Love arm wrestling.